Grand Rising, my beautiful people, my beautiful humans. Trying to open up my shit. I need some sunlight. My vitamin D is lacking. Hold on. All right, so it is approximately 12:20. I should have been eating already, but whatever. The sun is high in the sky. I don't know if you all know, but I'm on a spiritual journey, and I am trying to become more one with nature. And by doing that, I'm trying to, get back in tune with. I'm trying to get back in tune with like sleeping when it gets dark, not using too much artificial light, eating at high noon when the sun is at its highest point in the sky, eating more natural things, like potatoes, which I am cooking right now. I'm boiling some potatoes, and bananas, sunflower seeds, here they are. Sunflower seeds, they're raw and organic, unsalted. And I'm not saying you should get that, but that's just what they had that was organic at the grocery store. So, what else am I eating? Oh, and tomatoes and avocados. So avocados and tomatoes. So this is gonna help me clean out my system to get ready, just to start my potatoes. But it's just gonna help me to get ready just for it's just gonna help me get ready for just living a more natural life. And like I said, I'm gonna get rid of all of this stuff. I have so much stuff. It's ridiculous. And I'm gonna go out into nature, and I'm gonna become one with nature. It's always what I've wanted, for real, for real. I'm just so sick of, living in a box. It doesn't make me feel good at all. And I just want to feel good, But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. Trying to think of some things I can talk about. To transition into this lifestyle, going from like meat. I mean, you could totally go from meat straight to this. I mean, you could. But if you want to make it a little easier on yourself, I just started cutting out things. Like, at first I cut out like pork and beef. Like I just cut that out. And I also cut out like just eating a lot of sugar and drinking a lot of sodas. I started like juicing more and just drinking more water. I stopped drinking milk a long time ago. I cut out dairy with the beef and the pork. I cut that out immediately because dairy is just, it's just so bad for you. Especially the dairy that they're selling you. You know what I mean? Like, it's horrible for you. Yeah. So anyway, cut that out because it just makes you sick. So yeah, that's what I did. Food wise, that's what I did. I don't even know how to say it like religiously because I'm not really religious, but I really just started like meditating, like literally just sitting. Because like people people talk about meditation all the time, but they never actually like say what it is, So for me, meditation is like sitting somewhere. Sometimes I have really good music on, sometimes I don't. But I just sit there very quietly. I close my eyes and I just think about things. Like I think about whatever it is that my mind is wanting me to think about. and like, you know, going towards. I think about those things. I visualize those things, and I try to push those things into either a better light if it's something that's really bothering me, like in a negative way. I try to like see like how it could go into a positive direction, or or if it's something that's already good, I try to see it just on the next level. Like, where is it going? I'm always trying to see like, where is that going for me? Is that going in a good place? If it's not, then I just stop it. And if it's already going in a good place, then I just expound upon that good place and I manifest it. Because your mind is very, very powerful. And you know, what you put out there is what you get. And can I just say, I am a true testament to that. Like, seriously, a true testament to that. For the last 4 years, I was talking to my friend about this last night on the phone. For the last 4 years, I've been in a really negative space. And I mean, I know where it came from. I know how it started. So here, I'll just give you some background. You know, I told you about myself. I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and in the Midwest, and I was so sheltered. You know, I was very sheltered, and I was just happy. You know, I didn't know anything about this matrix that we live in. I didn't know anything about injustices, really. I mean, I just was just in a bubble, like, seriously. And I was friends with any kind of people, all kinds of people. Like, I just was a loving spirit, just, you know, free, just roaming this earth, you know. And it took me all kinds of really awesome places. Like, I really got to experience a lot of awesome things because of this. But then one day I woke up. I think it was around the time that Trayvon Martin got killed. I woke up. Like, that woke me up. Because he looked just like my nephews, you know? He looked like somebody who could be my son, you know? And it really broke my heart because he looked like such a good spirit. And it just really hurt me. And then after that, I started experiencing, you know, that vibration opened up my mind to experiencing, you know, attacks against me, attacks against my soul. And I didn't know how to get out of that vibration. I didn't even know I was in that vibration. I didn't understand it at the time, but I didn't know how to get out of that space. And then right after that, my mom passed away. And although I feel like I was very prepared for her death because she had cancer, so I was kind of preparing myself already. I was already prepared for her to die, you know, at some point, because she's my mom and parents die. It hit me really hard. And I just was lost. And so I went on a journey. And during that journey, I was angry a lot, you know? And I took it out on people. And I never really, before Trayvon died, before my mom died, I never really was angry with people. I never really took that out on people. I was just happy-go-lucky and, you know, just living my life freely. So I'm glad that I went through what I went through, because now I can go back to, you know, my path, living my life freely within nature. But I'm also aware that there is nature. Before I wasn't aware of it, and now I'm aware of it, and I'm so happy that I woke up. So yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about before that, but yeah, so I'm on this journey. So I'm on this journey, and that's kind of what, you know, that's kind of what started changing things in me. You know, I knew that the food that I was eating was not making me happy. You know, I had to really dive deep inside of myself to figure out, you know, what's good for me and what's not good for me. And one of the first things that I figured out was not good for me was the food that I'm eating. So, like I said, I cut out all the meat, then I cut out all the red meat, and then I cut out all the meat, period. And then I was, you know, I wasn't eating dairy, so I basically was vegan, but I cut out everything that was like an animal byproduct. So now I'm just eating vegetables and fruits. And that was awesome. Like, that was seriously awesome. But then I learned that like a lot of the vegetables that I was eating was causing mucus and stress in my body. And so I started cutting those out. That's when I went on to the Dr. Sebi like alkaline diet. I started following his list. I never bought any of the products. I just seriously, all I did was follow the list. I did not buy any of his herbs or tea, anything. I never bought anything, except for the food from the grocery store. But I did listen to him, and I do think that, you know, he was a very smart man, and I do think that at the beginning of his discoveries, I do think he was onto something, you know, and I think that corruption and this matrix, Babylon matrix, really got to him. It's hard being in the trenches trying to help your people, you know, and it can affect you, and it could take over, and it could turn you into, you know, the lower selves that are whose reality, quote unquote, we are living in, you know? So I think he just like succumbed to the pressures of this world, and that was the reason why, you know, shit went down the way it did with him, and, you know, him dying and stuff like that. But peace and love to Dr. Sebi and all of his camp, and I do believe there is some wonderfulness and some truth in his teachings. I just don't think that you should have to pay for anything, especially not food or information, especially not food that is free in nature and information that is within yourself. Okay. And I'm mostly talking to melanic people at this point. Don't get me wrong. Caucasians or white people, they have information in themselves as well, but they perceive the world a little bit differently than we do because of the lack of melanin. But they have good information too. They have had wonderful discoveries, inventions. Like they have really, like, because of the world that they live in and the way that they perceive it, not, you know, with the lack of melanation, they really are trying hard to study things and to understand as we do. So kudos to that. I just say, you know, don't try to like downplay anybody, Caucasians. Don't try to steal from anybody, and don't try to kill anybody, you know, or anything. Anybody means like humans, cows, chickens, bees, plants, like whatever. Like, just stop killing. Like, this planet is abundant. We have everything that we need on this beautiful planet. Everything. The trees, they give us food. We don't have to like grow plants and eat them, because they have feelings too. We don't have to grow chickens and eat them, because they have feelings too. We don't have to grow cows and eat them, because they have feelings too. We can totally survive off of the foods that have been abundantly provided for us in nature. And so that is the point. I am transitioning into living a more natural life. Anywho, that's it. I wish you all well and luck in your journeys in life. And I'm just trying to be the change that I want to see in the world. Love, peace, and hair grease.